Hello, this is Palico Padge and welcome back to another episode of Padge Plays Indie Edition with the game The Westport Independent. We are in charge of a newspaper, an independent, he says, with his little flicky signs. What are they called? Inverted commas, that's the word we were looking for. Independent newspaper run in a dystopian country which is ruled by the government. And it's very much in the ilk of Papers, Please. We are week 4 of 12 in. To be honest with you, the last episode went on way longer than I thought it would. I was hoping to get at least halfway through the game and make this a two-parter. As it stands, with the amount of choice we have and what we need to do, we're probably going to make it a three-parter. So we'll do another 4 weeks now, and then we'll finish off with the last 4 weeks and see where we are going with this. We are looking at trying to turn around the government and get the rebels' popularity up. So vive la révolution. I'm going to say it. Vive la révolution. Yeah, I can't say it. Up with the rebels. There we go. Good old Brit. Up with the rebels. So that is the plan. So yeah, we're week 4 in, and we've got papers to look at, or stories, should I say, for the paper to look at. So let's crack on, shall we? We have Wellster and Son declares bankruptcy. 200 employees lose their jobs. Or the large number of unemployed citizens just got larger as Wellster and Son goes bankrupt. Well, okay, the small furniture maker Wellster & Son has officially closed down their business. The company had been steadily losing money over the last 5 years before finally shutting their factories yesterday. Wellster & Son employed around 200 people in their factories and stores. That's a fairly neutral story all in all. Nothing to worry about there, I don't think. We could probably get away publishing that. Bombing by the southern docks, Ott and indeed O. Or vicious bombing by the southern docks kills innocent civilians. Not good. A bombing took place by the southern docks last night. Placed inside a small liquor store, the bomb detonated at around 11:45 p.m. 3 people were injured and 2 were found dead. The police have made 4 arrests and suspect rebel involvement. Oh dear. Well, again, nothing to worry about there. That's not really pointing the finger directly at anyone, so we could probably get away with that story as well. Improved equipment for Westport police, or government slashes budget to militarise police. Oh dear. Yesterday the government announced a new set of policies for Westport's police. If the police fall, the people are left defenceless. We can't ever allow that to happen, claim officials. Included in these is the right for officers to request military-grade equipment for riot control, and to afford this, several existing social benefit programs will be slashed. Oh dear. Well, that is a bad story. We don't like that one. That's going to upset people. Then we have Carol Miller, or I do apologise, Carol Miller discusses upcoming movie. Or starlet flees crumbling marriage into the arms of co-star. Oh dear. In an interview yesterday, starlet Carol Miller discussed her role in upcoming musical Sunny Days. During the interview, Miller spoke highly about the cast and co-star Harold Finn. Oh, it's that Finn guy again. Harold's a great actor and dear friend, Miller stated. It's been a hoot working with him. Miller, however, lamented that it gave her less time to spend with her husband. That's fairly okay. I do realise at this point that celebrity has taken a back seat to all the other topics that we can put into the paper. So I would probably have to feature that one this week just to get a little bit of popularity back up. It's all about the numbers. New health study shows benefits of tobacco, or new study shows smoking kills. According to a recent study, cigarettes might have many interesting effects on the human body. Interesting word to use there. In the study, subjects have displayed a larger tolerance to stress as well as lower blood pressure. Other effects include shortness of breath and the possible risk of cancer. Minor side effects, one would argue, back in the 40s. Again, that's a fairly safe one to play. Police prevent attempted bombing, or rebels suspected of attempted bombing of government offices. Oh dear. Yesterday, a bomber was prevented from arming a large supply of explosives outside a government office. This occurred in a small van parked outside the building. The perpetrator was caught by a security guard who found the van suspicious. Those funny inverted commas again. And a local rebel group are believed to be behind the incident. Again, it's all speculation, nothing to worry about there. And then preparations for the resident's birthday are in full swing. The city is as lively as ever in preparation for the president's birthday next week. Or Preparations for the president's birthday have cost over 12 million, whatever that is. Okay, we'll keep it happy, I guess. Parades are planned for the celebrations as well as a festival in Liberty Square. According to reports, the cost for the event have so far exceeded 12 million. Right, okay, we're definitely going to put this one in. This is going to be a backhanded compliment. So, we're going to leave it as preparations for the president's birthday are in full swing. The city is as lively as ever in preparation for the president's birthday next week. We're going to scrap that and just leave it as that. So that's where it's going to be. That's how much it's cost. That's what anybody needs to know. Who's going to have that? We want the person who is mildly rebellious, which is Julie. Is she going to be happy writing that? She is. That's fine. That's fine. She'll put a good slant on it, I'm sure. So, who do we have left? We've got Phil, who's the major loyalist person. Who are we going? What are we going to apply to him? So that is pretty neutral. That is obviously very much loyalist or rebellion, depending on which way you edit that. Improved equipment for Westport Police, again, not good. New health study shows benefits of tobacco. Rebels suspected of attempted bombing of government offices. We're going to give them the Starlet Fleas. We're going to probably lead with that, in all fairness. Starlet Fleas crumbling marriage into the arms of co-star? Question mark? Or Carol Miller discusses upcoming movie. Let's make it juicy. In an interview yesterday, starlet Carol Miller discussed her role in the upcoming musical Sunny Days. During the interview, Miller spoke highly about the cast and co-star Harold Finn. Harold's a great actor and a dear friend, Miller stated. It's been a hoot working with him. So if we've got to keep that for context, the first paragraph. During the interview, Miller spoke highly about the cast and co-star Harold Finn. Miller, however, lamented that it gave her less time to spend with her husband. You see, that it's okay as it sounds, just with the headline changed. Harold's a great actor and dear friend, Miller stated. It's been a hoot working with him. I mean, it sounds juicy. It sounds juicy. I'm sure Phil will love it. See, he's got no problems with that. All right, so we've got our fiercely rebellious Frank and not so loyalist Anne. What shall we give them? Frank, I would presume, is under suspicion. He is quite a lot. Quite a lot. Let's give him the tobacco one. It's one we can play off. New health study shows benefits of tobacco, or new study shows smoking kills. I don't really want to lead with benefits of tobacco. So, according to the recent study... You know what? We're going to take out the inside one. This is going to be full-on anti-tobacco. Boo! And to Anne, that will be. And then that just leaves Frank. So, in fact, no. Didn't we say we're going to give that to Frank? That's it. And then Anne, who is only mildly loyalist, will word it so she's going to write it well, but it's going to be anti-loyalist, I think. I think that's what we want to do. So, rebels suspected of attempted bombing of government offices. Let's review that. Rebels suspected of attempted bombing of government offices, or police prevent attempted bombing. Yesterday, a bomb was prevented. Small van. Perpetrator was caught by a security guard. Local rebel group was believed to be behind the incident. Yeah, it's fairly plain, that one. Improved equipment to Westport Police, or government slashes budget to militarise police. Yesterday, government announced a new set of policies for Westport's police. That's a bit harsh. We're going to have to probably take that off. If the police fall, and people are left defensive, we can't ever allow that to happen. Including these is the right for officers to request military-grade equipment for riot control. I mean, we could get rid of that and ship that, I think. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. What have we got left? So we're not doing that one, definitely. See, it's another bombing. I don't really want to sort of bring that down much. A bombing took place by Southern Docks. Inside a liquor store. 3 people injured, 2 dead. Police have made 4 arrests and suspect rebel involvement. Yeah, you see, it's pointing towards rebellious tendencies, which isn't good. And then this is, again, just another generic one, really, isn't it? Yeah, it doesn't say for either or, really. I think, you know what? We're going to push our luck. We're going to push our luck. So, So. Let's just pop to marketing for a second. Oh, can we not? I'm pretty sure it's celebrity for the West, which is what we need to build up. So let's start by doing new study show smoking kills. Then we'll head on to the Westport police. Then we'll do Starlet. Then we'll do the birthday. Because, you know what? Screw him. Screw El Presidente. And what was it the Western like? It was celebrity and crime. So who's the celebrity and industrial then? The North. Okay, so we'll give you 50. You 35. That leaves 85. Pretty popular in the southern docks, although societal and crime is... Well, societal's pretty high, in all fairness. So we'll give you... We'll bring this down a little. 32. So we'll give you 10% and you 8. That'll do. Societal news every morning, every day. I think we're there. We'll push it. We'll see how it goes. How do you plan on spending your day during the president's birthday? Asks Julie. I don't really know. I don't really plan joining the celebration, so I guess I'll just stay at home, says Frank. Me and my husband are taking my son to see the parade, replies Anne. I also plan on stopping by the parade. It's going to be held not too far from my apartment after all, says Phil. That was good. No one judged me. That's fantastic. We'll see if we get any nasty letters come through. But here we go. Week 5, 7 weeks left. I feel good. I feel good about that week. Yeah, that wasn't too bad at all. Our popularity's gone up all over the place. And rebellion's gone up a little. Loyalist suspicion's gone up a little. Oh dear. And the paper's popularity has gone up quite a bit. So I think we did all right. I think we lost 13 trust at the end of the last week, so +9 isn't bad. And we got mail. We're oh so popular here. Oh, so popular. Dear editor, one of your employees, Anne, has recently shown quite a rebellious attitude in her writing for your paper. While she has no history of disloyal behaviour, her recent actions had led us to consider taking this matter into our own hands. Proper disciplining is in order, otherwise we will be forced to act in order to discourage future events like these. The Loyalist Party of Westport. Oh dear. Denied! Denied! No, can't do it. Okay. Right, so. Anne. Okay. Well, you're more loyalist than anything. Okay, well, we'll give you a couple of easy ones, I think. Phil is good. Phil is A-okay. We've got to watch out for Frank. So Anne and Frank can have easy ones this week. What we got here? So, Removal Industries Steel Mill we're going to start that again. Removal Industries Steel Mill implicated in terrorism charges, or industry giant funding terrorism. Removal Industries sells bombs to rebels. No, I like that one, Phil, more. Removal Industries are facing new issues, this time implications of terrorism. The investigation into recent bombings found traces of material from Removal-owned factories. Removal have denied this, stating that they have no affiliation with any rebel group. Our company cannot take responsibility for single individuals, said a representative. We could probably use that one. Child murder midwife arrested. Oh dear. Or midwife arrested for attempting to aid minor with unwanted pregnancy. Okay. Tragedy struck today as a local midwife at the Liberty Square Hospital was arrested for attempted murder. The midwife, a Mrs. Lana Reynolds, was caught performing an abortion on one of the expecting mothers. She claimed to have done this on the mother's behest as she was unable to provide for the child. The mother was 14 years old. Ooh, that's a bad one. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. We are going to deny you. Deny. That's far too hard-hitting for my liking. Police given further liberties handling underage perpetrators. Or government gives police rights to practice violence on minors. I'm all for giving a child a good beating. The government has officially granted the police permission to handle minors more freely. The changes in regulations come from the recent increase in rebel activity involving teenagers. This rise in rebel sympathies is believed to be due to a recent case in which a teenage rebel tried to vandalise Liberty Square. Haven't we already gotten rid of that one? We'll keep it for the time being, I suppose. Oh, hang on. What have we scrapped? Oh, no. We want to keep that one. It's the midwife one we want to get rid of. That's better. We'll keep it for the time being. It could be a way of getting some of our reporters out of the mire. Carol Miller files for divorce due to outside pressure. Oh, is this our fault? Or Miller's marriage falls apart, leaves husband's toxic environment. Today, Carol Miller announced her divorce from husband Johnny Martelli. This came after 2 trying months of marriage due to personal differences. Their relationship was further strained, Miller said, due to various unfounded rumours. It's been nothing short of a nightmare, Miller stated. We'll keep it. We'll keep it for the time being. Wellster and Son declares bankruptcy. 200 employees lose their jobs. Or the large number of unemployed citizens just got larger as Wellster and Son goes bankrupt. The small furniture maker Wellster and Son has officially closed down their business. The company had been steadily losing money over the last 5 years before finally shutting their factories yesterday. Wellster and Son employed around 200 people in their factories and stores. Yeah, we'll keep it for the time being. Bar brawl in the Western Districts. Oh dear. Or dangerous drunken brawl leaves several people injured. Last night, a fight broke out at a bar in the Western Districts. The fight involved 6 people who, according to testimony, were all heavily intoxicated. Knives and broken bottles were used, leaving 4 of those involved with minor injuries. The fight soon stopped after police arrived, who arrested the offenders. Again, that is fine. Drunken brawl leaves several people injured. You know what? We'll go with that. And who's the one who's in the crap at the moment? Anne. She'll ride that well. I've got good faith in that. Then we've got President's birthday celebrated all over Westport. Or protests of the President's birthday. The President's birthday was celebrated all over Westport. Parades were held in Liberty Square and the northern suburbs. At the same time, protesters and rebel sympathisers marched by the southern docks. The riots were broken up by the police and 14 people were arrested. I feel we should run this. Protests on the President's birthday. Yes, we're going to go with that headline. We're not going to say that the police broke up and anyone got arrested. And if we get rid of that, that's pretty negative, and we'll give that to Phil. He's not going to want to write this, is he? Oh, no, he's okay. That's fine. Well, that's fine. We can live with that. We can live with that. So, we've got very rebellious Frank and not so rebellious Julie left. So. Let's give Wellster and Son declares bankruptcy to Frank, I think. We'll leave him with the more sort of sensational headline, I think. Officially closed down their business. Company's been losing money for the past 5 years. Wellster and Son put 200 people in their factories and stores. I'm quite happy to put that through as is to Frank. That is fine. That is fine. And the last one, which is mildly rebellious. Government gives police rights to practice violence on minors. We'll go with the bombing, I think. Revival Industries steel mill implicated in terrorism charges, or industry giant funding terrorism. Revival Industries sells bombs to rebels. No, we'll lead with that. Revival Industries are facing new issues, this time implications of terrorism. Investigation into recent bombings found traces of material from Revival. No, so we'll get rid of it. We don't need to say it's terrorism. Revival has denied this, stated that they have no affiliation with any rebel group. Fine. Our company cannot take responsibility for single individuals. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And we'll give that to Julie. I've got a good feeling. I've got a good feeling. Let's see how this goes. So, what are we going to lead with? Let's go with... We'll go with the unemployed citizens first. Then on to injuries. Then we'll do protests. And then we'll do the terrorism. So it's crime, societal, industrial. Crime, societal. How are we looking? Popularity. It's up everywhere, to be honest with you. Crime, celebrity. Celebrity, industrial. Yeah, I'm going to put a lot of celebrity in this time. Societal, industrial. Societal and crime. We don't need a lot of help, do we? Let's give 45 to you. They like industrial, which is okay. We'll give 25 to you. That's 70. And we'll split this even Steven. So 15 to you. 15 to you. Boom! Who throws a tomato at someone just because they don't like them? I swear, I've seen children acting more mature, says Anne. Hey, heckling comes with the territory of public performance. I'm more afraid of what the police will do to the guy, says Frank. I'm sorry, you pity the attacker? To hell with him. He knew the consequences perfectly well and just went along with it anyway, replies Phil. Violence? It was a tomato. It's not like he was actually hurting the guy or started some kind of riot, replies Frank. No, but it was both unnecessary and stupid. If he wanted to make a point, this wasn't the most convincing way of doing it, implies Julie. As long as they're not questioning me, I'm happy. I am happy. So we're reaching a halfway point now. Week 6, 6 weeks left. And we did all right. We did all right. I wouldn't say our popularity has gone up too much in the north and the west. But the east and the southern sections are doing a-okay. And we managed to vibe people more towards the rebellion, I think. We're starting to win over the eastern factories. I think we might have to hide this week's paper with... So suspicions up. We're zeroing out on Loyalist. All right, fair enough. Popularity's down. Okay. No mail? Okay. So I think we need to lead with a celebrity to sucker in the northern people and possibly the western people, which was crime, I think, as well. So let's have a look. See, we have Revival outsources to underdeveloped countries, or Revival abandons Westport to unemployment, outsources to underdeveloped countries. Yeah, okay. A recent report claims that industrial giant Revival Industries has outsourced almost all of their production overseas during the last few years. Meanwhile, several factories in Westport have been shut down, leaving hundreds of people unemployed. This has allowed unemployment in areas like the eastern factories to double over the last 3 years. Yeah, we'll keep that for the time being. 28 people arrested for protesting, or police stop rebel riot in progress. Meh. 28 people were arrested in a protest near Warren Birth Park. The rally was against the Public Culture Bill, which will come into force later this year. The situation took a violent turn as the protesters resisted arrest by arriving officers. The protest ceased after police backup arrived. Yeah, we'll keep that. Public interest groups pan Westport Theatre Company's love letter to Tremble Pike. Or public outrage to Westport Theatre Company's immoral casting of Harriet. Last night, Westport Theatre Company released its long-awaited rendition of Harriet. However, public interest groups like the ARRS have protested its immoral casting choices. They refer to the choice of casting men in the roles of Greta and Olivia. This was a tribute to the old theatre and the anniversary of the author's passing. Seems pretty easy to get away with on that one. Movie star writes biography, calls it my lonely place in greatness, or Star leaves movies to pursue writing. Renowned movie star Howard Finn today announced his upcoming autobiography. Titled My Lonely Place in Greatness, it will chronicle Finn's journey towards stardom. I've always wanted to share my life story with my fans, says the star. Excuse me. To see that moment finally arrive means a lot to me. The book is scheduled for release next fall. Yeah, we probably have to lead with that. Then we have Remival Industries lays off 400 employees. This does not get any better for Remival. Or Remival Industries takes out financial issues on its employees. Today, industrial giant Remival Industries laid off 400 of its employees. The personnel cuts are the result of bad financial year for Remival. We are sad to see so many great people go, said the CEO. When asked if the company's management had taken any pay cuts in light of recent losses, no comments were received. Oh dear. Then we have Westport Police shuts down smuggling ring, or police attacks Southern Docks Market. Oh dear. Yesterday morning, police raided a market located in the Southern Docks. According to the police, the market is suspected of harbouring multiple black market vendors. The market will be closed off for a month to repair damage caused by the raid. Many inhabitants of the Southern Docks rely on the market's cheap goods to survive. We could probably get away with that. And then we have cartoonist arrested for slander, or government arrests man for cartoon. A cartoon artist for the Great Western Enquirer was today arrested and is currently awaiting trial. Details of the charges are unclear, but include slander and producing treasonous material. This came after the recent comic strip, The Government Body, which cast several public figures as different body parts. Okay, so we want crime and celebrities, so we shall probably lead with well, we're going to put both in, I feel. So let's put out Starley's first. Movie star writes biography, calls it My Lonely Place in Greatness. I like it. It's a big, bold title. So as Naz is upcoming biography, yes. My Lonely Place in Greatness. It will chronicle Finn's journey towards stardom. I want to share my life story. Yes, the book is scheduled for release next fall. I am happy with that as is. They really do not like Anne at all. So she can have that. Yes, I think that's how we'll lead that. And then, where's the other one? That one it is. Public interest groups pan Westport Theatre Company love letter to Tremble Pike, or public outrage to Westport Theatre Company's immoral casting of Harriet. I don't know what's immoral, really. Back in the Shakespearean times, all the men were played women roles anyway. To be or not to be PC? That is the question. We'll leave it like that. I'm going to run this at the back of the paper anyway. Last night, Westport Theatre Company released its long-awaited rendition of Harriet. However, public interest groups like the RRS protested its moral casting choices. Yeah, I'm not sure about that last one, whether it's needed or not. Does it matter when it's just filler? Probably not. Who's got the most suspicion now? We'll give that to Frank. So we want to give Phil something which sounds loyalist but really isn't. We could probably get away with the cartoon. Police attacks. See, there's no way of writing that well, is there? Raided market located Southern Docks. Police. The market is suspected of harbouring multiple black market vendors. We could scrap that. The market will be closed off for a month to repair damage caused by the raid. Many inhabitants of the Southern Docks rely on the market's cheap goods to survive. Let's see if Phil will write that. Tough. Write it, Phil. Write it. And then we need to put something else in. So, government arrest man for cartoon. I do like that one. But I suppose to get people on our side, 28 people arrested for protesting. Police stop rebel riot in progress. 28 people were arrested in a protest near Warrenburg Park. The rally was against the Public Culture Bill, which will come into force later this year. I think it's important for us to run this. The situation took a violent turn as the protesters resisted arrest by arriving officers. And I'm quite happy to run it as is. And that can go to Julie, who's a little bit rebellious. Cool. I'm happy with that. Proceed to layout. So, we shall run with Phil. Phil isn't suspected at all, is he? So we'll put Phil on first. Then we'll go with movie star. Then we'll go with protests. And then we'll go with theatre. So societal. No industrial this week. That's fine. Celebrity is relatively high though. Celebrity and crime. So celebrity industrial, crime celebrity. So that's the way to go. It is the least popular. So we're going to give them. We'll give them 50. Southern Docks are going to love us anyway. We're going to give you 25. We're going to give you 15 and you 10. No, got to think about this actually, because we're trying to win people over. So you can be on 5, you can be on 20. That's better. I like it. That should push Eastern factories over. Did you catch the game last night? Asks Phil. Yeah, calls it on the radio. That last goal was brilliant, says Frank. Me and my husband were shouting at the top of our ears when they won. Contorts Anne. I find it really hard to think of ways of saying replies. There you go. Phil says, did you catch the game, Julie? Julie says, oh no, sports are not really my thing. Anne says, really? Didn't know there was anyone in Westport who wasn't keeping up with the finals. Julie says, honestly, I don't really need to follow the game to keep track of how it's going. I just need to open a window during a game night and all the shouts will tell me how the game went. Got to agree with you there, Julie. Although they weren't on topic, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Guess we'll see. Guess we'll see. So, week 7. Oh, the Western Districts loved us. And we've pushed the Eastern factories over, which is great. And we've really brought down the Western Districts on that one, which is also fan-dooby-tastic. The northern suburbs, I've got to sort of decide on focusing on probably the Western and Eastern factories. Southerns are a-okay. Don't have to worry about popularising them anymore. If we can get the 3 districts over and then just have the northern ones against us, I think that'll be okay. I think that will be okay. Oh, they're very suspicious of us though. But the rebels have gone way up and our popularity has gone way up. So, yeah, I thought we'd have a bit of mail. Okay, here we go. Dear editor, one of your employees, Frank, has recently written quite a few questionable articles for your paper. We expect you to show your people proper discipline in order to prevent events such as these, especially since the regarded employee has a history of disloyal behaviour. You will do well to remember that reluctance in this matter will reflect poorly not only on your employee but on you as well. Oh, okay. Frank. Yeah, Phil's not happy. I could probably get away with getting Frank to write something loyalist without upsetting him too much. We should probably concentrate on that first. So, this time around, local factory hires scabs, or local factory hires women workers. A local shell factory announced today its intention to bring women into the marketplace. The owner described this as both with the times and cost effective. The announcement came shortly after a massive strike against the company's dangerous working environment. There's always somebody right for the job, the owner said to the press. Bah humbug. And then we have former rebel speaks out to press, or the end times are near. The confessions of a former rebel. Today, a man claiming to be a former member of a rebel cell approached local press for an interview. The man admitted to a number of illegal activities, including recent attacks on police officers. He claimed to have parted ways with his group as a result of guilt. It's getting worse, he stated. If this continues, innocent people will be hurt. That might actually be a good one for Frank to write. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Students protest against police brutality, or rebels take college campus hostage. Chaos ensued this morning as a protest at one of the city's public colleges turned violent. You can tell it's becoming a long episode. I can't get my words out. It began as a large crowd occupied the gymnasium, shouting rebel slogans and singing. The protesters were part of a local student group protesting recent police brutality. Violence erupted as campus security attempted to disperse the group with force. Oh dear. Then we have President visits schools. This last month, the President visited 10 schools across the country. The visits were centred around private schools funded by government officials. During his stay, the President spoke both about his career as well as a future in politics. Well, there you go. Value of the Libor keeps on declining. So it's the Libor, the currency. Good to note. The national currency, Libor, keeps on decreasing in value. Last year, the government tried to solve this crisis by printing more money to cover expenses. So far, the government's actions have only added to the inflation. Not a good one to run. Then we have police officer charged with misconduct, or police officer given life for refusing to kill teenage girl. Today, the ongoing trial of local law officer Daniel Samuels concluded with a verdict. Found guilty of gross misconduct and endangering innocent lives, Samuels was sentenced to life. Samuels was charged for refusing to follow orders to execute an arrested rebel bomber. She was only 15 years old, Samuels reportedly stated. Fair enough. And then we have government to renovate housing in the Southern Docks. According to a new proposal, the government wants to renovate apartments in the Southern Docks. It's expected that the renovation will greatly increase the property value of the apartments. It's time to clean up the docks, the president said during a press event. It's also expected that the higher rent will force the poor inhabitants to leave. Ooh. Students protest against police brutality. They're all pretty hard hitting, in all fairness. I don't know how we're going to get Frank out of this. So he's highly rebellious, but his suspicion is high. So it's got to be something positive. What about if we got him to write? Police officer given life. Let's write about... He can write about the schools, I think. So, President visits schools. This last month, the President visited 10 schools across the country. The visits were centred around private schools funded by government officials. During his stay, the President spoke both about his career as well as a future in politics. That'll do for him, and we'll give that to Frank. I'm hoping that doesn't get him into too much trouble. Then again, you know what? We're gonna put it flat in. I think that should at least curtail the government on him. I'd like to think. How is Anne? Slightly loyalist. Suspicion is high, so we need to do something quite good for her. Let's do the end times of Neo, I suppose. Former rebel speaks out to press. Man claims to be a former member of the rebel cell, approached local press for an interview. The man admitted to a number of illegal activities, including recent attacks on police officers. He claimed to have parted ways with his group as a result of guilt. We're going to run that as is for Anne. She doesn't like it. She doesn't like it. Why doesn't she like it? Is that... What if I change the headline? What if we scrap the top and put that back? Is that more doable, Anne? I'm going to force you to write that, I'm afraid, Anne. Right, so we've got Phil, who's the loyalist, and the Julie, who is slightly rebellious. Who's unhappy? Phil. So, Got to keep him happy. Let's do the government to renovate housing in the southern docks. The government wants to renovate the apartments in the southern docks. Okay, it's expected that the renovation will greatly increase the property value of the apartments. It's time we clean up the docks. We'll scrap that. No, let's not scrap that. Let's leave it as is. Phil, please be happy with this. Ugh. Alright. Alright. Can we get Julie to write that? Yeah, she's happy writing that. Okay, well, in which case, we've got to keep him happy. So, I suppose we've got to put something industrial in. So, local factory hires women workers. Local factories hires scabs. We'll go with women workers. Intention to bring women into the workplace. With the times and cost effective. We'll scrap that. We'll keep it happy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Really, Phil? Are you just going to be a dick? Alright, how about writing about the money? National coastal levy keeps on decreasing in value. Last year, the government tried to solve this crisis. Ooh, okay, we'll scrap that. Phil, come on, Phil. My life. So all that leaves... See, I've got to give an easy one to Frank. I mean, what else are you going to write about? We've got... Police officer, I guess? Police officer given life for refusing to kill teenage girl. Police officer charged with misconduct. Well, okay, we'll leave that. Today, the ongoing trial of the local officer concluded with a verdict. Yep. Guilty of gross misconduct. Sam was charged with refusing to follow orders to execute an arrested rebel bomber. Reportedly stated. We'll just throw it at the back. It'll keep Phil happy. We'll just throw it at the back of the paper. So we will be leading with students protest against police brutality. No, we'll lead with former rebel speaks out to press. Then we will go with president visits schools. Then we'll go against the students. Then we'll go with the officer. So we're crime. We've got no industrial at all. Again. Screw it. We'll lead with it. So, industrial and celebrity. Crime and celebrity. So we're going to... Because we are trying to get the Western Districts over. So let's pump that with 40%. You can have 15. I don't think you're going to be too interested this week. Societal and industrial. We'll give them 20 and give... What's left? 25? We'll bring that down to 20 and you up to 20. That's good. We're pushing the Western Districts for the time being. So let me get it straight. My son isn't allowed to meet the president just because he doesn't attend the right school, says Anne. Julie replies, well, not to be cynical, Anne, but this is a publicity stunt. It's all just to score cheap points to their upcoming school reforms. Phil says, listen to yourselves. You sound like Frank. How much time do you think the man has on his hands? He can't be everywhere. Frank says, oh, so just because I don't lick the administration's asshole, my opinion doesn't matter. Go to hell, Phil. Julie says, Frank, calm down. And Phil, it doesn't take more than an hour tops to get from his mansion to the docks. I don't think time's an issue. Oh, we're making it all scary. And we've only got 4 weeks left. Oh dear. Oh dear. So, oh, bugger. So, opinion has actually gone down, which is bad. Popularity's up, but rebel opinion's down. But we have... It's only 2 loyalists, that's fine. And we have lost quite a bit of suspicion, which is good. And our popularity's gone up. So I suppose that's as best as we could have asked for, really, that time around. Oh, and we got the government on our hands again. But I think we'll leave that there. And we shall conclude this in the 3rd part. And hopefully, vive la revolution. Indeed. So thank you for watching. As always, a like is appreciated. And I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy.